kids in school got asked like what do they want to be when they grow up, and the top answer was a YouTuber. Nothing good comes from staying in your comfort zone. I just think YouTube is such a special platform. The one difficult thing is probably the creative burnout that can come with it. So thank God I love what I'm doing. I remember I was not allowed on a brand trip once because I didn't have 1 million followers. The fact that I was going to be in the hands of like one of the best people in the world, I was like, I have to document this.
Today in the makeup chair is OG YouTuber and beauty influencer. We have Rach Leary. From the early days of beauty and YouTube to today, Rach has built a loyal community through bold glam, viral tutorials and candid chats that feel a little bit like getting ready with your mate. She's helped thousands level up their makeup skills, not with gatekeeping, but with real talk about what actually works. So please welcome Rach Leary to the makeup chair. We have an OG YouTuber and my friend Rach Leary.
Hi! Thank you so much for having me. Do you know what? I feel like being referred to as an OG, I'm like, does that make me sound old? But then maybe I need to see it as a compliment.
No, it is
like,
a compliment.
I've just been around.
No,
for
it
a
just
while.
means that
I started young.
Everyone knows you as the original.
Okay, I'll take that.
I'm going to jump straight into YouTube because I feel like that's where we need to start anyway, because it's kind of the start of where did you start?
Yeah, YouTube was my first platform, and it was at a time where I was in school. I think like the year of school where the next year is where you'd go to uni. I can't remember how old are you when you go to uni? 17? 18. So I was in like year 11, year 12 or like something.
Do you mean before college?
Oh, maybe. It's because I stayed on at my school and did sixth form.
Oh, okay. So that is your college, basically.
It was during sixth form for me. So
right,
like, yeah, when I was in college. But it was at a time where it was all of who to me are the OGs. So like I used to be so excited to come home and watch like a Tanya Burr makeup tutorial and Carly Bybel and Lauren Curtis and like Zoella, all of those sorts of people. But I remember sort of sitting there thinking, being like, I love makeup. Like one of my first jobs was at MAC. Like I'll always be a MAC girl. Like that was just like some of the best times ever. Yeah, working on counter, and like you learn so much from the people around you there. But then I also had a passion for like, I did like photography, and a lot of in photography there was like video editing, things like that. I just loved the creative side of it too. And obviously going home and watching these people do makeup tutorials, I was just kind of thinking there's no one, because at the time there wasn't, no one my age doing it. Like, of course I related to them in the sense that we all loved makeup, but in a sense of the time of our lives that we're in, it was different. So yeah, I was just like, maybe I'll just do like a makeup tutorial. And like my thing started off being as inspired looks. Like I used to do a lot of celebrity inspired looks, and that's kind of how it snowballed for me, because I suppose it's quite clever now I think about it, but I just throughout my whole career have always thought, if I maybe it sounds a bit egotistical, but I'm just like, if I want to see this, I'm sure there's other people that want to see it too. Yeah. So back when music videos were like a big thing, like for example, the one that's kind of snowballed it for me was there was an Ariana Grande music video. I think it was like Love Me Harder with The Weeknd, and I just thought her makeup in it looked so nice. And I was like, I'll do a tutorial like on this makeup. And yeah, I think for me, it was like my second video got like 100,000 views. And obviously for someone that's like there's nothing.
Yeah.
That was a big deal. And obviously you kind of have to, with any of these things, like ride the momentum. And that was just kind of like my niche. And then people find out that you're kind of funny and have a bit of a personality, and that they want to sort of see that side to you, and just kind of went from there.
Yeah. And before you posted your first video, was you like nervous to start it up?
Oh, my first ever makeup tutorial, every single part of me wants to delete it, but I can't.
What is it?
It's called like a wearable witch, and it's at speed like ×2 the whole way. And I've put like,
why is it on ×2?
I just wanted it to end. Like I just was like, I just don't want to do this really quickly, and I just thought that was like the way to do it. And there's like thunder and lightning playing in the background, like that's what I put the music as. And it's this really like dark purple makeup look. It's terrible, really. At the end of the day, it's terrible, but like that's just where I started, because I had no idea. No one was really doing it back then.
But I think it's important to keep the old videos, because it shows your growth and where you came from. And
it was just where it was my first video in front of a camera, so I didn't even know how to be or like what to be, although my mum would probably beg to differ, because there's videos of me when I'm like 5 being like, I want to be on the camera, like clearly it was like, what's that euphoria called? Maddie knew who she was from a young age.
And starting it up, was there like a bit of you that was nervous to put yourself out there in a sense and show people online?
Yeah, definitely. But it was more like I was scared about what people at school would say, because like no one was doing it. So it was this weird thing of like, why is she like recording makeup videos? Like, who does she think she is? I remember like some of the boys used to be like, we could do that. Like, we could get 10,000 subscribers. I had my head teacher come in once being like, oh, like, heard you're doing YouTube. Like, how much do you make from that? And I remember sat there thinking like, that's a strange thing to walk into my form time and say in front of like all of my peers, because you don't know if I've told anyone. Like, you've just heard about it and like announced it to everyone. And imagine if I walked into your office and asked you what's your salary. Like, that just was strange. But like I said, no one was really doing it. So I understood why people would ask questions. People sometimes still do ask questions when you meet them and you tell them that social media is like your full-time job. Yeah, it is still sort of new in that sense. But back then, I think because fortunately, it all snowballed quite quickly for me. There wasn't a lot of time for people to doubt me, because I was like, well, I'm doing it. So just
like it or lump it. Yeah,
exactly.
I also think with stuff like that, that's what stops people from starting all of this. Like, when you hear of people wanting to be an influencer or a YouTuber, a lot of their concerns come from outsiders' point of view and outsiders' opinions, which is obviously,
well, everyone's so critical. I feel like now it's not, this is the thing, it's like now, because so many people are doing it, it's so normalized. Like, I'm sure I saw somewhere that kids in school got asked like, what do they want to be when they grow up, and the top answer was a YouTuber. Like, that was the thing now. So in that sense, I feel like there should be less judgment. It's now probably more like, it's going to depend on what kind of content that you're doing, where the judgment will come from.
Yeah.
But I feel like one of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite movies, Cinderella Story, love it so much.
That's my favorite movie.
Like, never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game.
Oh my
it's
God.
The best. And I just always think like that's so true. I'm sure there's a few quotes that are like that, where it's like on the other side of fear, that's like where it will be. Nothing good comes from like just staying in your comfort zone. And I need to apply that to like other parts of my life. But when it comes to things like this, you got to have a bit of confidence. Yeah, you got to back what you're doing, otherwise no one's going to believe what you're selling. 100%. And then you'll never find the success.
And how do you cope with like judgment and stuff like that?
I've been quite fortunate throughout my whole time. I haven't really, the only hate I used to get was about maybe like being fat. My hands were orange, like I had really bad fake tan. I tried to avoid looking at those websites where people like talk shit about you. Can you swear on it? Talk shit about you. Like, because I think that's when you can just go down a rabbit hole. And I'm very much a believer in just like to be blissfully unaware, like say it behind my back, like that's fine. So I don't know, like I've tried to avoid the judgment side of it. But like I said, I started quite late in school, and I think everyone's just doing things and starting things like way younger, where like everyone is obviously like so critical and so judgmental and so like, comments like that would affect you. But I was like, 18 going 19. I knew everyone was about to go off and do uni. So I'm just like, it's a year of maybe you judging me or like talking about me behind my back or like thinking I'm strange for doing it, and then I'll probably never see you again. Yeah. And at the end of the day, you will probably never see 95% of the people that talk.
It's very true. And it's the people that are closest to you and around you that matters, and no one else is really, no one's opinion.
My family backed me, and like my dad was just like, are you making money? I was like, yeah. And he said, that's fine. And so I was like, okay, well, and I'm enjoying it, and like that's what matters.
So you said the Ariana Grande video was the one that went viral. Was that kind of the moment that you thought maybe you could make a career out of this?
When I got my first job, like a brand approached and offered money.
What was your first job?
It was like from Olay. I think it was like a skincare job. And like the amount of money that they offered at the time for me, I was like, oh my God. And my mum was like, right, relax. 20% of that goes to the tax. And I was like, Mum, what? I just got this email, and she just kept my feet on the ground like from the very start. And I really am so grateful for that, because sometimes when you get offered like a lot of money like all at once, like they don't teach you, well, they might now, but they don't teach you about taxes in school. I'm sorry. No. Why were my maths lessons about like Pythagoras' theorem when they should have been teaching you about life skills and like mortgages and taxes and things like that? And that sort of thing. But no, I think because obviously actually when you start doing YouTube, you can monetize on there. It was just when you start to earn the income that you're like, okay, this is now actually matching the job that I do. Because I still worked at my job, which again, back then, it was a bit of like, they started to have an impact on like what that was, because if you're going online reviewing like Rimmel mascaras or whatever, but then you're on counter saying like, this is the best mascara, and someone comes in and goes, I watch your videos, and like, that's not what you said. Back then there was this real like grey area. I remember like someone that I used to work with like had a blog, and I think that's where they called her out on it, because she was reviewing things and it wasn't the brand that she worked for, and like all of that sort of stuff.
And this was still whilst you worked at Mac?
Yeah, and then it was just getting to the point where I was going to lots of events, and then people would actually be coming into counter and like wanting to speak to me, and I think that's when I just had to have a conversation with myself and my family, and also like my boss at the time, and just sort of be like, I don't think you can keep doing this. And luckily I was in a position where I didn't actually need to keep doing that, but I still got back.
How far into YouTube was you at that point?
Probably I'd only been doing it for like a couple years. Like, that's what I mean. So back then it all happened quite quickly in comparison now. Like, to see growth at the rate I was at back then now is like, was really difficult. I think a lot of people that have been doing it for as long as me could say like, that's the biggest thing now, is like, you're always trying to like grow. And back then it was very easy to grow. And like now, because it's just so many people can and do, like, it's do
you feel like YouTube has changed over time, and like, is there more pressure now than there was?
I just think YouTube is such a special platform. Like, I know everyone at the moment is very into their short form content, and don't get me wrong, love short form content, but it's like, I suppose they're just like movies and things like that. Like, I know we love short episodes of like a series and things like that, but long form content I think will just always have its own place. Like, so it's hard to compare, because I think you do YouTube perhaps because, I don't know, like, I'm trying to think like, why now would I tell someone to do YouTube over trying to grow on a TikTok, for example, because it'd be so much easier to grow on a TikTok, and it is, because anyone can find your videos. I will always be a YouTube girly, I think, and I'll take pride in that. Like, throughout all of the trends that have come, like, I just feel like my content and my audience has like stayed the same. You've grown like a
community there, haven't you? Like, it's your...
Yeah, I feel very, very grateful for that, in the sense of, perhaps now in comparison to things, obviously at the time, like, I was growing really rapidly and stuff, but now it's just, I'm so grateful that that audience has actually like stayed with me. I've not had this like overnight moment where, yes, there's a huge influx in numbers, but like, they haven't been with me from the start. They don't know me from the start, so they could just come and they could just go. Like, so I'm just grateful that I've had an audience come and have stayed. And like, if I was to look at like my stats and my demographics, my like majority percentage is like 28 to 35 year olds, and I'm like, well, that's me. I'm so I feel comfortable with my content, like the stuff that I'm putting out. I know my audience is going to like it because I like it, and like, I'm doing it, and we're all sort of on this journey together, and like have been for like a really long time.
And I think part of it is because you're so consistent with it, that's why people stay as well, because they are used to routine, and you provide a bit of routine.
Yeah, and a lot of people will tell you, but I think again, this is more advice for people that are wanting to grow on TikTok or like start a social media, and it's the short form content. It's like, you've got to follow the trends, and you've got to, you know, what's the biggest thing that like people are talking about, and like, you've got to like jump on that. And to some extent I do agree, and if it applies to me, like, for example, like, it's just been the Victoria's Secret fashion show, like, I love that glam and that style and that era, for example. I was like, that resonates with me. I will do some content like on that. But I don't know, I think for me, if a trend didn't apply or anything, I wasn't doing that. Like, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, because I feel like if it's not broken, don't fix it. And I think people, well, I hope people have like really liked that from me. Like you said, like, it's just a consistent thing. You kind of know what you're gonna get from me. That's not to say that I'm now not in a place where I'm like, okay, maybe I do need to do like something like a little bit different, and like maybe people do need to see like a different side to me, because I feel like this year has been a bit of a like evolution of myself that I'm like, maybe, I don't know, I had like a brand meeting with my manager like the other day, and I was like, there needs to be this like crossover of like something, like I'm kind of in the mood to mix things
Change
up.
it up
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know what that is, because also at the same time, my biggest, I think, flaw is that I'm like, yeah. And then I get really nervous and I'm like, actually, never mind. I'm scared. I don't want to do that. But
I think that's natural though. That happens to everyone. It's like the fear of the unknown, isn't it?
Well, that's what I mean. And I'm like sat here being like, don't let the fear strike you from playing the game. And I tell it to everyone. And then I'm like, okay, Rachel, so apply it to yourself. And then we'll see.
No, but you being your authentic self is obviously working. So
I think that is the key, because I feel like I see so many people on social media or like even like in real life, and I just think if you've got like some emotional intelligence and awareness about, you can clock when someone's like not being themselves or it's a bit of a show, and it makes you wonder like, I wonder what they're like off screen. I've never ever had someone meet me and say you're different like which I'm really happy about. Like I did that dating show thing like on YouTube. And that was a bit out of my comfort zone, and I knew that was going to introduce me to like a completely different audience, you know, not my like makeup beauty community or like anything like that.
For anyone that doesn't know, just explain what it was a little bit. Like
I did like a dating show called Grilling, and it's basically where like I was getting grilled on a date, which is fine, but because I back myself in terms of just like how I can handle myself and the way that I speak, and like I said, because was only going to come there and like just be me. I'd seen like a few of the other episodes, and I know like sometimes people put on a bit of a show and it's for the views, but you can tell that, and it's like that's like what the whole gag was, and that's fine. But I had so many, because that like audience was a lot of like my guy friends, like they watched that show and like they know who that was.
It's a whole new audience, really,
totally whole new audience. But I had a lot of my guy friends be like, oh my god, so I saw you on that show, but they were like, you were so funny, like you were yourself. I was like, what did you think I was going to do? And then I don't know, but like it was just good that you were. So I'm glad that like, or if I've ever met a follower in person, although I say that and like a lot of the time I am like a little bit like tipsy, but I'd still always be myself. Like I'm not a bad drunk either in that sense, but like I've never had anyone, touch wood, like like say to me, or it's like been a rumor or whatever, that like I'm just like not the same in person.
Yeah. And would that be your advice to someone wanting to start up YouTube, is to kind of be their authentic self?
Oh my god, of course. Like you, like I mean, I know some people in life are really good at it, but I was going to say like you can't. It's very, very difficult to
keep up.
Like because at the end of the day, it's a lie. If you're not being yourself, you're lying about who you're being. And someday the walls will come down.
The mask will fall down.
The mask will fall and you'll be revealed as something that you're not. And then what? What a waste of time that you've just like, and even the community you've built is not really like true, because you're misleading them into someone that you're not.
What other advice do you have for people starting YouTube then? Yeah,
obviously like to be yourself and just make sure you have like a real strong idea of like the content that you want to do, because in this industry, it's a very creative industry. You've got to keep it going. And I think most creative jobs, even though they might on the outside seem way easier than you know the corporate jobs, because there's not a set like necessarily 9 to 5 schedule, though I say that, and like some of my friends that I go to events I speak to, they have themselves on a strict schedule, and I'm like, I should be doing this. Like, wow, that is, you are like telling, like they could go away and be like, no, like it's not as easy as it seems, because I'm doing like this and this. But if that's what they need to do it, then that's fine. But like, if you're not doing something you love, you know, like you're so fortunate when you do what I do, for this to be my career, in the sense of, compared to other jobs, it is relatively straightforward in what I'm doing. The one difficult thing is probably the creative burnout that can come with it. So thank God I love what I'm doing. Although sometimes I'll be having like a really boring week, and a lot of my job is to sort of document what I'm doing all of the time. But then again, I find the most success sometimes, or the videos that do the best, is when I am sat at home being like, guys, I'm actually doing fuck all. And like everyone's like, that's nice, because everyone seems to think that we're like on red carpets all the time, like doing all of this jazzy stuff. And sometimes that is what we're doing, and that is a perk of the job. But no, sometimes 95% of the time I'm curled up on the sofa with my cat. Like,
sometimes I find there's a bit of a pressure to be always out and doing stuff and making it look like there's always something going on, but it's just not reality, is it? It's just not what everyone's doing all the time.
Yeah, sometimes when you are just at home, I just think like, when am I watching YouTube videos? Like, it's when I'm kind of sat doing nothing and I do have free time. So sometimes if I'm watching someone that's also recording themselves, like sort of during their free time doing nothing, that's when it starts to feel like more of a friend, and like you're kind of sat on like a FaceTime type situation and you're both living your lives together.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, like just to make sure that you're loving what you're doing, being authentic, and like if it is like vlogging like and stuff, just honestly, your audience will find you. Like you just be you, doing what you're doing. Try not to focus too much like on the numbers, I feel, because yes, at first it can feel like really disheartening if you've been really consistent and like nothing's really happening.
Yeah.
But I just think if it's meant to be, it will.
As well, doesn't it?
I also like, again, for a lot of people, including myself, a massive contributing factor was luck. Like it just was luck. And I know that that's kind of a really hard pill to swallow, like when you're trying to start out and someone just says to you like, I don't really have a recipe, like I was just me, and that was just lucky and it worked. But I think that's just being realistic, because a lot of people that you see that have like skyrocketed or like whatever, rose to fame or had like massive success like on social media, it's because there was one video.
Yeah.
So you just have to tell yourself, like, if you've not got there yet, like your video's coming.
Yeah.
If it's meant to be, it will. Your video is coming. Just make sure that you're yourself, and also like kind of like ready for it.
And we all go through some videos not performing well, and like sometimes you might go a few weeks or a month where you think, God, nothing's happened for me this month.
I mean, like some like behind the scenes, it's not really like tea, but like I have so many sort of like influencers. I'm on their like close friends on Instagram, and the amount of people that will like put like a job that they've done like on their close friends, being like, guys, please, like I need this to like perform well and stuff. And I just think, do you know what, that's so real.
Yeah.
Like, yes, true. And I will comment, and I will like, because I know as well like firsthand like how much that means, and like it is a performance-based job at the end of the day. Like, even though people just see it as, I don't know, like people are doing well all the time and like things like that, and it's like, no girl, it's like in a corporate world, it's a performance-based job. Like, you don't get the jobs unless you're doing well.
What I think people don't realize as well is like all the likes and the comments and the shares on an advert is how people see how well you're doing. So when you see like influencers commenting on each other's stuff, we're like hyping each other up, aren't we? Like,
get the engagement
if someone's got an advert on, best believe I'm liking that, I'm commenting, because it's all about helping each other out.
And I think that is sort of when you can tell like on someone's audience, like who maybe had like a real skyrocket moment and like, but their audience like isn't quite like an authentic, genuine ride or die audience. Because like, say you only gained X amount of followers because you like did a trend and like it just blew up and like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Those people may have only followed you for like that specific thing. So then when you start to maybe pivot and like do something else and you're just gone to the like the next trend that isn't really like what that person like followed you for, I think like that's when you can sort of tell. Like, I always think like if I had a brand, I would not be focused on someone with 2 million followers but like barely gets 2,000 likes on a picture, for example. I would be more inclined to work with someone that had like 3,000 followers and gets 1,500 likes on a picture. That's half your audience like engaged with you. Like, that's the kind of metrics that I think is now what people are sort of like looking at and like focusing on, because that's actually a genuine engaged audience with you.
I think there's been a shift lately actually in that, and I think brands are starting to make a bit of a movement into the people that have the higher engagement instead of just the people that are in the millions of followers.
I remember I was not allowed on a brand trip once because I didn't have 1 million followers.
Really?
And I was like,
did they actually say that to you?
Oh yeah, I didn't have the numerical like criteria to like be allowed like on the trip, because back then like that equated to like a wider audience and things like that, whereas now I feel like,
isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
I got replaced on a brand trip for someone that had 200,000 more than me. It was very sad.
but like I just sometimes wanted to be like, but like, no tea, no shade, but like I'd love to compare perhaps like engagement stuff. I don't even have like the greatest and like best engagement, but I mean like sometimes I do think, well, yeah, definitely in the past it was a just, you'd go on someone's profile, you think because they've got 1 million like there's more like eyes on them as such. But obviously when I used to go to more events and like talk to amongst like my peers and things like that about that, like it does go to show like there's a lot of like struggles and pressure like behind the scenes, because I think that person is also hyper aware of the fact that
Yeah.
yes, they may have a lot of like numbers to show, but when you have to like send over stats and like people like brands want to see your story views and like link clicks and like things like that. And
but also there's a lot of I mean, I don't want to dub anyone in here, but there's a lot of buy-in followers and likes at the minute as well, which have you not seen that?
No, but I thought that was more of like celebrities, like mainstream celebs.
Maybe it is.
Like when they've had like a real PR crisis and they suddenly need to like bump it up.
Yeah. I don't know whether that goes against your engagement or what. Like, how does that work? I actually don't know.
Well, I always see like a lot of bots, and it's always like people on like what are these comments at the moment that are just like, she got another page.
Oh
I
my
see
God.
it on like every TikTok, and then there's like 5 comments like underneath that.
But I get some of them on my phone.
Buying that because I'm seeing it on everyone's stuff that I'm like, it's just like an actual bot.
Do you not find there's like quite generic, like, oh my God, I love your content, and it like repeats after 3 or 4 times, and I'm like, I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, it's like spam, but then
it's spam, but nice spam. I'm like, thanks.
Yeah,
thanks.
But I need to, yeah, or
But
it's
who
like, or it's these weird like, I don't know, they're kind of like porn like type pages. It's just like, don't click on my picture like on something, and I'm just, sometimes I reply back to them and I'm like, no one's clicking on your picture, girl. Like, and it's probably like a robot like that's actually even typed the question. But yeah, no, I can hand on my heart say I've never bought a follower, because I just think there will be telltale signs, and like how embarrassing.
And it goes, I think it'll go against you in terms of work wise anyway. Like, there's just no point.
Because it's not genuine.
I think it's purely for the look.
Yeah,
do you know
that's
what I
why I thought it'd be, if I was a celebrity and suddenly like I'd lost like 5 million overnight, I'd be like, we need to change that, because they get so many comments, so many likes, like anything like it all just looks like spam anyway. But I have seen TikToks where people try and like debunk that, because I'm sure there's like tests you can run like on people's accounts.
I think there is. I'm sure there's like websites where you can literally put someone's name in and then it will come up with all the stats.
Like, yeah.
So you can't hide.
Suddenly going home and doing it.
So, you know, when it comes to your YouTube videos, and like we've got so many different platforms now, how do you kind of stay consistent with everything?
I always told myself that like my TikTok was just like my fun app. I was like, really like, I'm not going to be necessarily like super consistent on there. This is probably when it like first came out, because I was like, I do YouTube, I do Instagram. I think a big thing for people, and like how sometimes it can flatline and like ruin things, is when you just spread yourself too thin and like try do the most on like every single platform. Because sometimes I think, and it applies to a lot of things in life, if you're just like everywhere, or if something is everywhere, you just get sick of it. Like seeing their face or like, you know, and I just always thought that about myself. I was like, oh my God, if I'm like in people's faces just all the time doing the most, like people are going to get sick of me. So like, I don't want that to happen. So I think it was just about prioritizing, like YouTube is my biggest platform. I really love it. Like it's my thing that keeps me on track every week of just, I used to do like 2 videos a week, and now it's gone down to 1, because the other apps they do it has just become what they've become. If anything, I think Instagram for me is like the back burner, like only because it's not what it used to be. So I'm just like, it's not as like fun. I'm starting to love it again. Like I'm suddenly like, I love Instagram stories again.
Yeah.
And I'm really like, I'm the friend that's like, oh, Rachel, take the picture because like I've got all the text. Or like if my friends taken an Instagram story, she'll be like, can you just make it look nice? I'll be like, yeah, okay. Like I loved it. Like that's my thing. Like I love people's like Instagram stories, but I remember for ages, like that was a thing of not, or like people getting like scared to actually like post on Instagram because it just like does so badly. But I think when you just don't care about that sort of stuff, it actually kind of does.
I think you need to drop the pressure off it, don't you? Also, Instagram can be annoying because you just never know how it's going to do. But I think the same with that about TikTok.
Yeah. Or like the fact that there's just now so, because they're also like competitive with each other, they're just making it really difficult to like grow. Like I was at a Meta, what would you call it?
Conference?
Yeah, something like that. And I actually asked, I was like, sorry, are you deliberately making it difficult that like as a content creator, anything that has like the word ad in it or sponsored or like partner, like that is the post I want to do the best, obviously, because I'm being paid to do it. The brand needs it to do well. Why do you make it like my worst performing post? But it's all like all the internal stuff of that. Basically, like if the brand wants it to do well, they should they should like pay to like push it to make it do well. Like,
is that why it doesn't do well? Did they say it's because they want
couldn't
the
really
brands
like
to push?
they couldn't really confirm or deny, like allegedly, but it was just sort of like it all stems from they want these companies to like pay for these posts to do well.
I guess that kind of makes it's annoying, but it makes
otherwise
sense.
how are they gonna make their money? Like all these other ones like make the money, but I'm like,
I always find it mad though how just by putting a word in, it can like, how do I not see that Instagram story now? Do you know what I mean? Like, where
they
does
like
it go?
flag words and just make it like difficult, and that's why people are just like, oh, forget it then. I really like can't be bothered. But I think YouTube and TikTok are the apps or like social media platforms where you can sort of just discover someone organically without like, because there's a lot of like suggestions, and I know on Instagram like you get suggestions too, but like I just get suggested like meme pages and stuff. It's not like people, and it's and if anything, I'm so hyper aware that that's not someone that I know that you've put on my feed. It's almost like, because I'm already so annoyed at this app for like not showing me like my friends and stuff, that you've just suggested someone else, and I'm annoyed at it. Whereas like on TikTok and like YouTube, like I want to be introduced to new people to watch. And then sometimes when I'm introduced to new people to watch like on YouTube and TikTok, I like find their Instagram, and then like it's like just as nice. But I feel like sometimes a lot of people that have like a really amazing TikTok, and I'm like, wow, and then I go on their TikTok on their Instagram, and I'm like, oh, so you don't use this platform?
Yeah, it's
like,
not the same. It's not. But how did you find moving to TikTok once that became a thing? Because I feel like you became a name in the YouTube community. It's hard to then start another social media platform.
I think it's because I used, like I said, at first I really just saw my TikTok as like, I don't know, I'm just going to come on here and like say random things. Like it's not.
But that's what people love on TikTok.
Yeah. And that's what does the best. Or you just go on and you ask Kylie Jenner a question and she answers. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
we will get into that.
Yeah, okay. But like, do you know what I mean? It's just, for me, it was another, like, obviously from my YouTube, I know that when I sit and talk and I keep it real, like it does well. Mm-hmm. But in this, I don't know, because I don't use Snapchat anymore. Like, I know a lot of people do, and it has made like a comeback.
Well,
but
Snapchat's made a comeback because everyone can earn quite a bit of money off it.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, did you not know that?
No.
Everyone's earning dough.
Oh, suddenly that's on Snapchat. No, but like Snapchat used to be like a real way to sort of like instantly say how you're feeling.
Yeah, it's
true. I mean, maybe that's why, like I say, like I kind of like love Instagram stories. It's kind of the only way to like post something like right in that moment. And I did sort of see that. I felt that towards TikTok, because sometimes I'll be watching like Love Island or something, and the episode will end and I'm like, right, I'm making a TikTok because that pissed me off, and like, and then that will be a really like high performing TikTok, because it's kind of the most like real time
relevant stuff
post you can do. YouTube, I'm sat editing that video for like 3 hours and it's the whole week, and like I've done it there. So I think it was just knowing what I'm going to use each platform for.
Yeah.
And the fact that I knew that my TikTok was going to be not like my YouTube, and it's just where I'm kind of keeping it even more real, because it's probably going to be like in real time that I'm posting these things as well.
Do you ever have days or moments where you kind of fall out of love with it?
I guess that goes back to where like you're not really doing a lot. Like it could be, I could find it quite easy to like talk myself out of.
You have to find the momentum as well, don't you?
Yeah, and sometimes like even if like my laptop's playing up and like I've got no storage and also I know this is just going to be like such a ball. Like, but then I guess that's why people have a team of people that do this stuff. I've never ever had hired anyone to like edit my YouTube content or anything like that, or have an editor or
do you enjoy
something.
Editing?
Yeah, because I do. And like I'm also just a control freak. Like I must edit this video, because then if I've kept something in or whatever, like the only person I could blame is myself. Like I couldn't blame someone else for something like that. And I find that in life, like I just need to be responsible for myself, because then the only person I can blame is me, and that's just a lot easier to like process and deal with if like something was to go wrong. So
and it's your own formula. I feel like you can never go wrong if you're editing it yourself, because you know what you want to put out.
I mean, I've tried different styles of editing in the past, and then I just let my followers tell me, they're like, girl, this is not you. I'm like, okay, no, I'm fine, because it was actually a really long and hard process for me to edit it like that. So if you don't even like it, I shan't do it again. It's fine.
So going back, because I know you just mentioned Kylie Jenner, talk me through, and for those that don't know, the moment that you asked Kylie a question on TikTok.
To keep it frank, I just got out the shower and was looking at my boobs, and I was like, I was like, this is just not the vibe. And I think she just posted maybe like an Instagram or something where hers looked amazing. And I was just like, oh, I've always thought her body is tea. Like,
I've always thought her boobs are 10-10.
Yeah. And like, obviously they're big. And like at my biggest, I was like a 38 double F and they were full big boobs. And like, I used to have that. So I think I'm obviously subconsciously comparing myself to myself. And I kind of like looked at her and I was like, wow, like, obviously like I know like I've lost some weight and like annoyingly you can't pick and choose where you lose it from, and like now I've lost it from my boobs. Like I've always, anyone that's followed me on YouTube for ages knows that I used to speak about wanting to get, because back then I still had the volume, like I wanted a lift. I was like, I think I want like a reduction, a lift, like that's what I want. So I just like looked at hers and was like, it's that look that I like, because in my mind, and obviously now we know what she did have, I was like, because a lot of my friends, they have like the high profile implants. So like for me, I think, and this is no shade in the sense of, I think it's obvious that you've had your boobs done because of where the implants sat. Like that's just because that's the look and like that's how you've had it done. But I was like, I know she's had her boobs done, but they don't look like that. I was like, they don't. So has she had like fat grafting or like something? I just wanted to know, because I was like, they're in my mind what I'm like, if I was to actually go under the knife, they're what I would want them to look like. Not necessarily as big as hers, because if we put things into perspective, obviously she said that she had 450cc. I've only got 250cc and I'm still an F, a double F. So I'm like, wow. But then obviously, and like the surgeon ended up saying like, implants on everyone is just going to look so different. Like, it depends on how much fat you've got to work with. She obviously has like the bottom half to like balance it out, whereas if like I would not look like that. Like I'm severely AirPod bod. Like I'm just like top heavy. Like
AirPod bod, I've never heard that.
Yeah, like you know, like an AirPod is just like the top and then it's just straight down. Like that's me. So yeah, I just sat down and I understand the power of the internet sometimes, and she's not replied to me before. Like she made a TikTok and her hair looked amazing, and I commented on her TikTok about her hair being like, Miss Jenner, like please can you like actually tell us or like sit down with your hairstylist and film a tutorial. And she replied to that comment being like, yeah, we'll do that. And it's weird because she actually then,
are you friends?
I don't know, like I don't know, but I feel like maybe she just has seen I've never changed my TikTok picture. So like I don't know if it resonated with her, because it was weird. After she commented on the TikTok I made, she then posted that hair tutorial, and I was like, did she remember that was me and just think this girl is asking for way too much? Because I'm sure she asked me to do a hair tutorial before, so like let me just like get it done. But no, I just sat down, like I'd finished my shower. Like if you watch the video about like my hair's wet, I'm in my dressing gown, I just thought, while all of the questions are like in my mind, let me just ask. But the only thing I ever thought, I say this, even though a part of me I did think she would tell me like, I'm delusional. Maybe that's what it is. And like a key to success is a bit of delusion. Because I remember when I woke up and I'd seen that she commented, I just was like,
so did this happen through the night?
So I posted it, I think, in the evening one night, and it started gaining some traction, but in the way that I thought it would, which was loads of people getting involved in the conversation, them speculating what they think she's had done. A lot of people, like, I feel like even like I had some of my influencer friends sort of message to be like, my surgeon's done like a really natural job, and like this is what they think it is. And that's what I wanted. I wanted people to like recommend surgeons to me or like whatever, and like say what they think they'd had done, so I could go away and do like a little bit of investigating and just take it from there. Or I thought, if Kylie Jenner does tell me what she's had done, that's fine, and I will take that, and I'm going to go to a surgeon and be like, I don't need a consultation, it's this. Like this is what I want, and then you decide what size to go in. But like this is like the formula, or like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was all sort of happening, and I went to bed and I think it was on like 200,000 views. It's still quite like a lot. I was like, that's happened in like a couple of hours, so like okay. And then I woke up at 7, and in LA they're 8 hours behind. So I'm envisioning that she was just scrolling at nighttime, because it would have been like 11 p.m. for her. She just commented, put her phone down, and like just thought, I'll just tell this girl like what I've done. But I woke up and just read it and was like, oh shit, she's told me. Nice. I didn't. And in the UK, we didn't really think too much of it. We all thought it was cool. We were like sick, and it was just there was such a shift when like America woke up.
Yeah.
And suddenly it was in like every tabloid, like it was in like Vogue, it was in like on TMZ, it was on like all of the big like E! News, like all of the big American
But she'd
outlets.
never said it before, had she?
No, so I didn't clock
She'd
that.
not even said that she's had one.
She did on Keeping Up. She said
did she?
she'd had one.
Right, okay.
And she really, but then she had Stormy. So like there was a big conversation about how she wished she never got it done before
yeah.
kids.
Oh, yes, I do remember
But then
that.
I could tell that like she had something different done since then, and like that's what I was wanting to know from her, was like, what was that?
What's the update?
Yeah, and I even said in the TikTok, like, you don't need to tell me who did it, because I understand that's like sacred stuff, like gatekeep to a certain extent, but I do feel like if it's going too far, like you are doing, like, what's the word? For you to actually come out and say it, that's like the right thing to do. Like, not like anyone owes anyone anything, but I guess maybe she saw the amount of traffic and the amount of speculations and the amount of things, and if she has come across it, it takes 2 seconds to just be like, girl, I had this done.
I also think there's a massive shift lately in people being honest about what they've had done. Do you not feel like there's so many celebrities are coming out and saying,
started a trend of people like saying what their like boob formula was, and I just think that's so great because people know, and there's no shame in you've obviously had that done. Like there's no shame in saying what that was, and it's
I think
such
there's
a
little
common
bit
procedure that like if you can shed some light on, you know, because everyone talks about their bodies, which I hate that it's bodies as a conversation, but as a family, their bodies are just like so spoken about and they're labeled as unattainable, like, and all of this stuff. And at the end of the day, that was not unattainable. Like what she said, like it wasn't some magic recipe. Like she's just like the rest of us, and she got 450 cc's, half under, half over the muscle, like moderate profile. Like you forget, like these people, they go in and they have these consultations like everyone else. And it was just nice of her to say that. And obviously she said who did it too. Then he put this post out saying like, really thank you for the recognition. And then like Chris commented on his picture being like, you did my first facelift. And I was like, oh my God, like everyone's suddenly talking. I was like, oh, but not the second one. But like she did, but I always thought Chris looked great. So I'm like, okay, so yeah, everyone, I think the way that people talk about surgery, there's such a trend, and like people want to like for ages, like BBLs were like really gatekept. It was like this like secret procedure. Now it's so normalized, and all of these like celebrities like that were the ones getting them done first, and then we catch on, and then it becomes accessible, and then everyone gets it done, and blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. I can't think of something that's like not being done. So maybe now the trend is to just be honest about it.
Yeah,
like and it's not get the newest thing. It's actually just be honest about like what.
And it's quite normalized now, and I think with normalizing something, there's also less judgment. Yeah. So I think that might be another reason why people are starting to be honest, because not as many people are jumping down your neck if you've had your tits done.
Well, yeah, because if you've said it and you've owned it, like what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Yeah, and
yeah. So how did we get to Garth Fisher messaging you?
Technically, like,
or did you message him?
I messaged him, but it was because he was posting about it on his Instagram stories.
Okay.
So I was just like,
hey.
That was me. I was like, oh my God, like that was me. Like, I can't believe this is all happening, like, and all of this stuff. And I just remember he like liked my message, and I was like, oh, okay, so like he knows I exist, and like that's fine. But I wasn't reaching out to him with the intention of him actually doing my surgery. If anything, I just thought,
I was gonna say, was that a thought when
I just thought, oh my gosh, like, oh no. And the funny thing is like when she said it was Dr. Garth Fisher, I searched Dr. Garth Fisher on my phone and it said I'd searched for him 2 months ago.
Oh, really?
So I was like, I'd obviously Googled Kardashian surgery because he's been linked to them since he's like been on the show. I think he's been linked with Chris for like a while, I think, and is just an absolutely phenomenal, renowned Beverly Hills surgeon. So like keywords going into Google, like he was going to come up. And I remember looking at the gallery being like, I can actually genuinely only dream that like, but at least these are good like reference pictures, you know, I'm like looking and like whatever. So when he liked my message, I just was like, okay, like even at that time, the fact that he now sort of has put 2 and 2 together and knows I exist is still like amazing, whatever. If anything, I just thought, because I think he then posted something and it was like a bit of a joke about, someone had posted a kind of like a quote meme tweet thing being like, it's all well and good knowing like what Kylie's done, but I like dread to think how much that costs. And he kind of posted it like as a joke, like being like, haha, like whatever. Or like it was about a consultation, because I remember my message was then actually like, side note, how much actually does a consultation cost? Because in my mind, I just thought if he could tell me what my
he recommends.
he would recommend, then I would take that and go to like someone in the UK, because again, everyone on the TikTok had like really recommended these incredible UK surgeons as well that had gone on their page and was like, their work is amazing. Like, so if I could just use that and have this happen, perfect. Like, okay, like that would definitely be like something I would do. And then I think obviously because the first few days was just absolutely crazy. Like obviously now I know that, and they've shown me that they had like 12 like leaf like wallets, like, you know, like back in school when you had those plastic wallets that you could put paper in, and they'd filled 12 of them
with
of all the calls, because they were like, we will give everyone a chance, like you're actually interested, we'll call, we'll tell you, like whatever. So that's why like he didn't necessarily, like, I didn't know he was ever planning to, but like get back to me as such. I said like, how much would a consultation be? And he didn't really even acknowledge that. He just was like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe how viral this has gone. Like would love to help you, like let's just start chatting. And it just kind of like went from there.
Did you have a consultation on Zoom, or did you have to go over and have it?
I did have a consultation in person. I hadn't really realized you don't really, like you could have a consultation today and have your surgery tomorrow. Like you don't necessarily need lots and lots and lots of like consultations and that sort of thing. They are so, well, especially him, like he is just so talented. Like he was actually like, it'd actually be more difficult for me to make myself breakfast in the morning than to do this surgery for you. Like, like some people just are gifted in that sense. And I think in a world where it is, again, quite saturated with people that aren't perhaps the safest and all of that stuff, like it is incredibly important to do your research. And even though Kylie said that he was hers, like I still wanted to like do the research on him and like things like that, because it's quite easy to get like carried away, and you never know like who's promoting surgeons for like because they got it gifted or like anything like that. So like I knew I wanted to document it because it was more like everyone was saying like, oh my gosh, like just following along like with the journey. They'd known how much I've wanted this. So the fact that I was going to be in the hands of like one of the best people in the world, I was like, I have to document this, but I don't want to push it. I'm documenting my journey, but what I'm not doing is like working with him in a way to like promote it or like offer it out or like anything like that. If anything, he was actually like, I don't want that. You should be doing that.
Well, he's quite like he's never really been documented.
No, he's such. like people pay me to not to never say that this ever happened at all. Yeah. So it was all sort of like brand new to him as well. But I think he has like a younger daughter, and she's like got a bit of a social media presence too. So he was like, this is fun. Like this is like a really like exciting time. He also has like a podcast that like is insightful. Like because I included him in my vlog, and everyone was just like, oh my god, like, or like when I got him involved on my TikToks. And everyone was just like, he's like so nice and so sweet. And it sounds really strange, but even when he was speaking, I was like, I don't know who I would want my surgeon to be, but if I was to shut my eyes and like imagine
it's you,
a surgeon, like, yeah, it's you. Like he just had a very gentle aura, but is so clever and like insightful. And obviously you've been doing it for just like such a long time. So it just makes you feel really safe. And I just think, and again, he's not about social media, never really has been. So I think that when you're going to do anything like that, it's just important that when you've met your surgeon, you got nothing but safe, good vibes from them. And like, because your life is in their hands at the end of the day.
Talk to me about like the timeline and how was the actual process for you? I bet it was a bit surreal actually going over. I don't feel like it was that long ago.
I think I only left it so long because I had like a couple of holidays in the diary beforehand that I was like, if I suddenly turn around and go to LA like next week and get this done, you can't swim or like do anything or like move. I wasn't sure I was going to feel. I've never had cosmetic surgery like before. So I didn't really know. No one in my family really has either. So I couldn't really like talk to them about it. Obviously I had like all of my friends and people were giving me like advice and stuff. But I think we were just like trying to liaise a date that would work. And August made sense for me. And then obviously he has to go on a holiday. Like, and so I was like, trying to get in before he left, because obviously like he's the one that's got to do it. So I was like, okay, so yeah, just worked out the calendar. And then I don't know, like sometimes I feel like that might have been what gave me the most anxiety, because I was allowed so much time to like think about it and dwell on it and like all of this sort of stuff. And it also just didn't really feel real, like it was happening because there was this big gap. Like I'd obviously like come to events and be like, oh my God, Brad Fish is going to do my boobs and stuff. But even though I was saying it, I hadn't really like processed it yet. Like even when I was on the plane with my sister, because my sister came with me, I was still like, oh my God, so I'm going to come back from this trip having like, this is happening. Like it's not just like a fantasy and a dream. Like it always had been, like you're actually going through this. But yeah, no, the process itself, like he has such an incredible team, like that just make you feel so at ease. I mean, they were, well, I remember when I was like going into surgery, they said like, is there anything that you're apprehensive about? And I was like, it's, and I think this is for a lot of people as well. It's like the anesthesia. I'm like, I can't wrap my head around it. Just that how it works, I just don't know. And
I don't think anyone knows.
No, I know.
That's actually a thing that anesthetic, they actually don't know how it works. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, well, God. I hope my anesthesiologist knows how it works. But like, I
might have made that up. I'm not a doctor.
I remember like, they were like, but that's the best part. I was like, for you, it'll be over in a blink.
Yeah, that's true.
But for us, obviously, we'll have been working on you for like 6 hours or something.
Was it like, 6 hours?
I think it ended up being a very long time.
Oh, wow. Mine was only like 2 hours.
But yours, did you just have an implant?
Yes.
Whereas I was still, he obviously then, I'd sent him pictures. So that was the kind of like in-person, the only sort of consultation that I'd have, that like off the bat, he just knew it was going to be a lift, possible reduction and implants. Because I'd had consultations before years ago, and I'm very grateful. Like I think I just went to like 1 or 2, but they basically just were like, this was when I still had a lot of breast tissue, but I just felt like they were like hanging low. And they basically were like, if we put an implant in you, although I don't know why, because now upon reflection, like, I don't know, I just feel like in the UK, we're just like not quite as advanced as like Beverly Hills, because obviously they've been doing like cosmetic stuff for a very long time. But I remember they used to say, like, they'd show me the pictures and I'd be like, can you show me what a lift looks like with an implant? And I'd be like, that's what I like that. And they'd be like, but if we put an implant in you with the amount of breast tissue that you have, you would just feel like phenomenal amounts of pressure on your chest, because there's a lot going on in there for like an implant to go in and all of the breast tissue that you've got. But I just like didn't like the look of like a reduction and a lift. Like, and I just thought, I'm also, when I had those consultations, I was like 24, 25, and I wasn't really thinking about the fact that obviously like as you get older, you lose collagen and like things like that. So now I was like older, I knew I wanted implants because I just knew gravity wasn't on my side so much anymore. And a lot of people I know that got lifts were like, I wish I just got an implant from the jump. Like I really do. So it was just more of a discussion of like what the implants were going to be and if it was a reduction and lift. And no. So just to clarify, like I didn't have a reduction. I'd lost enough breast tissue now for like, they were going to use just what I had, and I was going to get he was like, you still have like tissue in there, obviously. So all we're going to do is like remove the internal skin, because I think reduction is actually where you take fat out of the boob, and that's why actually they can be really painful, because you've actually had like something like taken out of you as such, rather than just like external skin removed. And an implant, but you're still going to have a very natural result, because you still have like breast tissue in there. So like that was making me really excited. I was like, because at the end of the day, I wanted my boobs done, and I wanted to look like I've had my boobs done, but also at the same time, I didn't want like big fake boobs, and I was in such a weird headspace as well, because I'd always had massive boobs, but I hated it. So like, I don't know, I was like, why are you arguing with yourself? Like, if you want like big boobs or not, you hated having big boobs, and also if anything, it's going to be worse because they're going to be big, like hard boobs. So like, if you were to get like a really big implant, because I wanted to wear like the cute little tops and things like that. So I actually didn't really know what I wanted. So I was very fortunate that I was in the hands of someone that I felt I fully trusted. I told him the vision. He understood the vision because of like how it had all come about, that like I just was like, you just decide what you think looks good almost.
And are you happy with your outcome?
I'm so happy. Like, if anything, I was really skeptical about the scars because I do have like the anchor scars because it goes down here. But I was just like, I couldn't believe how like small they were. And I've seen some people like in the pictures of people's work. I'm just like, the scarring is for me personally, I would not be happy with that result because it's just so visible. And my biggest thing was that like, I'm doing this because I want to be like feel like the best version of myself and just be turning 30, just like feeling so confident. Because as much as people like, I could preach about it all you want, like I loved who I was as a person. I really don't think your body defines you at all, but there's always going to be things about yourself that you just naturally feel like might be like holding you back a little bit, or you are a little bit conscious of. And like for me, that was just like my final thing that I was like, it's just like, considering as well, I've like never really had like a boyfriend, a long-term boyfriend, like something serious. Like I don't know, I don't want anything to like be holding me back. And if this is going to give me that final boost, like going into my 30s, and like therefore, because I'm feeling more confident, hopefully that radiates out of me as well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I saw Montana's TikTok that said that she sat next to an influencer who had the best boob job that had just had one. Can you confirm or deny whether that was you? Because there was a lot
What TikTok is that?
There was a lot of speculation that it was you.
Oh my God, we were sat next to each other at dinner.
Yeah, she did a TikTok saying, I have just been to a influencer dinner and sat next to someone who had just had the best boob job I've ever seen. They look so natural. They look so good.
Me and Montana have had conversations about it because she is
it was probably you then. Everyone in the comments was like, it's Rach Leary.
Yeah, well, do you know what? I will actually take that. Never in my whole life has anyone ever said to me, like, you've got like the best boob. So if that's what that is now, that's absolutely fine. And we will say thank you, Dr. Garrett. We always do. I say a prayer every night. But I think a lot of girls, because she's in the same boat in the sense of obviously now like she's had children.
Yeah.
But she always had big boobs before. I just think when your body goes under like such a drastic change, like you lose weight or you have kids, you're breastfeeding, like that sort of things, you're the one that's with your boobs like all of the time. So when you know that you once had something and then you don't anymore, it does play on your mind, and it is something because you just want to go back to being you. Like it's not necessarily like you're wanting something brand new and different. Like, and a lot of my friends have said that to me too. They're just like, when they've like seen my boobs, they're just like, oh my God, don't you think this is just like what your boobs like were? And in my mind, I'm like, my boobs have never looked like this, like whatever. But I suppose it's
like they
never
fit your body.
Yeah, I'm just like, I think like that's what they're trying to say, is that it's a good job because they just suit me.
Yeah.
And I've never had boobs I felt like that suited me, and that like sit right and like all of that sort of stuff. So
I always think when you think about something so much and it's going to make you happy, why not just do it?
No, and I feel like maybe that's perhaps how I manifested it for myself. Like it wasn't intentional.
Are you good at manifesting?
I didn't know I was until like this sort of thing happened. Like there's things that I always like wish had happened. I'm like, well, Rachel, if anyone understands the power of if you don't ask, don't get, then it's me. Like maybe I should start asking for more things. But no, like I think it's because I went into it with real like pure innocent intentions, and it just, from like girl to girl, it was just meant to be like a girl to girl conversation. And again, I even said in the TikTok, I think like my audience is a safe space. I've always felt like I can have these conversations with my audience because I've never felt judged by them. And I know for Kylie, like she's always being judged, but I was like, my audience is a safe one, and maybe she felt that from me. I don't know.
I think she probably did.
We can pretend.
Speaking of like manifesting and stuff, what are some pinch me moments of your career so far?
This is hilarious because before this happened, if ever I was at an event and they asked me that, one of my things was that like Kylie Jenner once liked my Instagram picture when I was like in school, and like I remember when that happened, and it was because, you know, I said I did a lot of celebrity inspired looks like back in the day. Like I'd done one on my Instagram and like put a picture of us like side by side, and she liked it, and I remember like that was amazing. But then what else do I always like say, because everyone, whenever people talk about their pinch me moments, I'm like, mine are so shallow. But like Ashley Tisdale once made me her Woman Crush Wednesday on Instagram.
Did she? That is a really good one.
Right? Is that a good one?
That is good.
I think that's quite good. I can't find the post now, so I don't know if like she regretted it and deleted it or like whatever. But she always used to be like watch her makeup tutorials and I love them, and I was just like,
oh yeah,
this is amazing. So I've had like little ones like that, but then obviously I think, I don't know, being invited to like really, or like my first time of things, I think, will always resonate with me, like on a pinch me moment, like when you get invited on your first brand trip or you get like a big job, or like you're just doing something that for the first time that feels massive. I think they're pinching me because you're like, wow, okay, I'm really doing something. Like, my name is out there. People know me enough, like, to even be considered. So I've just always been like very grateful for those moments.
Yeah. Right. I've got some quick fire questions for you. You just answer as you please.
As we realised, quick is not my like strong suit, but I'll try my best. I'll channel my inner like quickness.
Short sentences.
Okay.
A trend you love.
I've gone back to glitter on the eyes. Like, I love it.
Okay. A beauty trend you secretly wish wasn't a thing.
I'm suddenly gone blank on like what all trends are.
Mine's, I can't do low rise, so low rise jeans for me. I wish I could.
I don't like I don't know.
You can skip it if you don't like it.
I want to say like the clean girl aesthetic, but the one that's like so clean that it's actually just like kind of random, and I'm just like, I don't know, like I don't get it. To me, like clean girl is still like very much like girly pops, and
it
like,
can
you're
be something that
things.
you just don't. It's not your aesthetic, is it?
I don't like really gimmicky makeup videos.
Okay.
Because I'm like, makeup is meant to be fun. Like, don't get me wrong, but when it's like gimmicky, I'm just like, girl.
Yeah. Favorite YouTuber?
At the moment, she's not a YouTuber, but like she posts all of her stuff like on YouTube. I know she does do YouTube. I really love Vanilla Mace.
Oh, okay.
Do you know who that is? Like, she's actually a streamer.
Right, okay.
But I think she's just so funny. She's so refreshing. She's got like 2 cats and she just keeps it real. Someone actually, like, she read it out and she was like, someone had actually said the reason that they love her is not only because like she's herself, but they were kind of like the least interesting thing about her like is her body, because I think she's slightly plus size and she just doesn't care. Like she just really is like her true authentic self, and it was just like refreshing to see someone have so much success, and she's just so fun. Love her content. Yeah, love her.
Love that. A makeup look you'll never tire of.
Warm bronzy skin and like a nude glossy lip.
Gorgeous.
And like bronzer in my eyelids, and that's basically what I do like every single day.
A brand you couldn't live without.
Ooh, I feel like there's loads that I really, really love. But if I'm gonna say either Patrick Tar or Made by Mitchell.
Nice.
Only because I think with everything else, there's loads of brands within every category that I really love. They're just like 2 brands that stand out to me because they've produced something that I haven't found anywhere else. So let's just like say that like Mitchell's come out with these like sparkly lip glosses, and like there is not a single brand on the market that when I say like I want a sparkly lip gloss, like does it like that.
Yeah. 3 products you take to a desert island.
Brow pencil, lip gloss, SPF.
Beauty habit that's bad but you can't stop.
Picking my skin. Like, is that the beauty habit? Like, or like if there's something on my face and I've already done my makeup, like I have no shame but to kind of like slightly ruin my face because it's got to come off. Or like if I've put something on my skin and I can see, even though I've committed to the makeup, like it's starting to like peel off my face, and I'm just like, I'm taking it off. Like, I'm not afraid to start picking at my face.
Okay, and then the last question is, we do a giveaway at the end of the season with everyone's ride or die product of all time. So you've got to put something in the basket. What is it going to be?
The Made by Mitchell lip gloss on the dance floor in the squeezy tube.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. That is your ride or die.
Yeah.
Rach, thank you so much. It's been
this
so
was so
nice
much fun. I'm sorry I yap so much. I got lots to say.
We love yapping on here.
Oh my God. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. That was such a fun conversation with a day one creator, and it's clear her influence is still shaping beauty culture. Her links are all in the show notes if you want to follow and deep dive into all of her looks. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe wherever you're listening or watching. And we'll see you next time in the makeup chair.